Welcome to Om Times TV, a division of Om Times Media and Broadcasting. "95% of our lives are run and created by our subconscious mind programming. Imagine if your subconscious mind is running many negative, disempowering, and self-sabotaging programs. How will that 95% of your life turn out to be? Would you like help to change your subconscious programming into something that works for you and set it to attract and create everything you desire? Join Tamra Oviatt in her show Metaprogramming and the Human Biocomputer here on Om Times, where she will connect to the source energy and change your subconscious programming by deleting your negative belief systems. Tamra is the founder of Sacred Activations, a subconscious metaprogramming modality that rewires your brain and shifts hundreds of your belief systems so you can break away from lack, pain, and suffering and take control of what you want to create in your life. Tamra has helped hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, and she is here to help you too. It's not about fighting what you don't want. It's about creating what you do want. And the only way to do that is to change and upgrade your subconscious programming. Let Tamra help you create magic in your world. Tune in every week at Metaprogramming and the Human Biocomputer.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Metaprogramming in the Human Biocomputer. This week, I have Dr. Karen Kane with me, who is all about spirituality and helping light workers get into their power and really create what they want to create in this world. She's absolutely amazing, best-selling author, and I'm so happy to have her here. She's a sister I've never met, because we're in this business of helping people come into their power and to know how amazing you truly are, because that's what this is all about. So she's going to share some processes today, and we're going to talk about living in 5D and all kinds of exciting things. So hang out, and she will be doing a process at the end of the call. And then at the very end of the call, I will be running some sacred activations for you. So let's get started. Welcome, Dr. Karen Kane.
Hello, Tamra. It's actually Karen Can. That's okay. I didn't ask. I didn't tell you that ahead of time, so that's okay. Well, the funny thing is, on internet search, when you search Karen Can, Karen Kane comes up first, and no matter what I do, she always comes up first. She's a famous designer.
Oh, nice. What does she design?
Clothing. So we can say we're designing our lives, and she's helping designing clothing. So us Karens get a lot of work done. Great to be here, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so happy to have you here. So let's go right into living in 5D. What does that mean?
It's kind of a catchphrase, right? And it means different things to different people, but I can certainly share my perspective of that. Let's go to what people often think it is, or what I feel it may or may not be, and then what my perception of it is. So when people think, oh, I'm living in 5D, what does that mean, right? They go, oh, it'll be so great. I'm going to be joyful and blissful all the time, and it's going to be peaceful, and the world is going to look peaceful, and oh, maybe I just disappeared, they can't see me anymore. And I'm not saying that's wrong. However, for me, we can live in 5D now. So even though we see, war, we see, all sorts of manner of what we would judge as atrocities or things happening in the world, and these are coming to light for us to heal. So it's not a bad thing. It's just super uncomfortable that we can be in an uncomfortable outer environment and yet completely hold that 5D consciousness within ourselves. And the body is key. At least what I found is the body is key to do that. So we don't have to wait for it to, can't wait till we all get into 5D. No, we can be in 5D now. And it doesn't always look like it's super smooth, like we're blissed out all the time, because part of our human experience is experiencing different aspects. It's like having ice cream every single day. It'll get boring, even if it's your favorite food, right? You kind of want other things. So things are going to happen to help us enjoy the experience. So living in 5D may be, oh, for example, 3 months ago, I had like flu-like symptoms. And instead of going, oh, I'm sick, right, which is an old habit, I would say, oh, I'm having a massive unexplained cleanse. Or, wow, I'm going through detox. Well, how interesting is that, right? So instead of just going, oh, I have so much to do. Oh, I got to cancel all these appointments. Oh my gosh, I got to juggle my schedule. I go, well, okay, so how do I enjoy these symptoms? How do I actually enjoy having sick symptoms? And so the brain goes, I don't know, that's a weird question. Well, let me figure it out for you, right? And that's what I did. And I was able to appreciate my team for rescheduling things. Everyone was very understanding and empathetic, and I got to enjoy that. I got to receive gratitude and enjoyment for that. And I literally was feverish in bed going, wow, look what my body can do. It creates fever to help detoxify me. How cool is that, right? So that is an example, a real life example of living in 5D. And you know what? That, went fairly quickly. I didn't have any negative, emotions related to that. I didn't attach it to any diagnosis. I just knew my body was going to heal. I just gave it the time to heal. No big deal. So that's an example of living in 5D.
Yeah. And I think when stuff like that comes up, we really need to rest and we need to take time to go inside. So it gives us that opportunity.
Right. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. We don't have to judge it as a bad thing. In fact, I was literally enjoying the symptoms. It sounds strange, but it's rare, but it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember getting sick and, or feeling like I'm getting sick, and I kept hearing, you're going to get sick. You're going to get sick. And I said, oh, okay, good. I get to stay in bed all weekend.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I thought, oh my God, I have so much to do. No, I can't get sick. And then it went away. So it was so cool. So we can do that, you guys. You took the time to go inside, and that's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Like a playground.
So, yeah. So 5D living, I mean, we are still in the world. So we're still in the world. We're still seeing these things going on, but it's not affecting us anymore. So with people that it's still affecting them, what do you say to that to help them disconnect from that and go into their power?
Well, first of all, I think it's really important to honor and respect where everyone is at in their stage of evolution or spiritual evolution. So unless they are asking for advice or counsel or mentoring or coaching, then sometimes it's much better just to be the example vibrationally, but also in the real world, because our actions speak louder than our words. As a medical doctor, I've spent a lot of time proselytizing to my family about what they should or shouldn't eat, what they should or shouldn't do over decades. And you know what? They don't really listen to me. No. And in fact, I think looking back, I was just like, you got to do this, stop eating so much salt, stop eating so much fat, stop eating, so much sugar, you got to avoid this, you got to avoid that. You know what? Half of that is wrong. And now I realize half of that advice was wrong. And I'm like, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was wrong. Right? Because that's what we were fed in medical school to tell people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was not correct based on the actual science. So it's like, sorry. But now it's like, unless they're asking, now, of course, if I feel like I'm going to save their life or something, I might still say something, but it often does not get received very well. So unless they're asking me for advice, I try not to do that. So just to be happy, that's the biggest thing, to be joyful, be happy, and to be the example of everything that we wish for others. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, exactly. And always treat people with kindness and love, no matter what. I mean, no matter what's going on, treat them with love. I had that experience last week where I was working with an acupuncturist and a yoga teacher, and I stopped the acupuncture, and then she no longer wanted to do yoga. And I'm okay with that, and I sent her love. So it's thinking about that instead of getting frustrated with somebody. And look, mirror, mirror, I canceled, she canceled. So it was cool because I was able to walk away with that with just total love and honor and respect. And it felt really good to do that because an old me might have been really frustrated with her. Do you know what I mean?
Like taking it personally or something like that, regardless of whether she did, it doesn't really matter. It's how we
Exactly.
perceive. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, and everybody's acting in the best way they know how.
Yes, and
So,
I did want to speak a little bit to what you said about love, because love and kindness sometimes doesn't look like what we think it looks like growing up. And for example, I was talking to somebody on my podcast about this. Kindness and love can sometimes be holding the line or standing up for something that is moral or what we believe in, but it could, on the surface, look like it's hurting someone. So, for example, if I, have frequented a store of my friends, and this is a true story, but they put in place some policies that I felt were immoral and actually not immoral, but unhealthy. And in this case, it was a health food store. So I held them to a higher standard than I would a grocery store or, the tire store or whatever, right? So this is a health food store doing anti-health activities. So I said, look, here's the actual science and data. Would love to talk to you about it. Would love to, see if we can not have those particular rules in place, because I really would love to continue supporting you, giving you money. I spend 5 times as much sometimes on their stuff than I do at the grocery store because it's my friend, right? So I'm willing to do that. But they weren't willing to be open to even look at and I'm a medical doctor, so they weren't willing to look at even that. They were just like, nope, we're just going to do it this way. And I said, okay. So was it loving for me to boycott their store? Was it kind for me to boycott their store? One could say, well, no, it wasn't. But on the other hand, what's kind and loving to humanity? If I'm standing up for humanity and standing up for what I feel is right, is it kind and loving to myself to betray myself to do what
right.
other people think is kind and loving for them? I just wanted to make that point, because this is kind of an intense thing if you think about it.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's so important to say that, because you have to honor yourself and your truth. And it's okay to walk away from a store or a doctor or anybody you're working with. You have no obligation to anybody except yourself. So, I mean, truly, you have to make an obligation to yourself and not put everybody first, because when you do that, then you forget about yourself. And then how are you there for others if you're not taking care of yourself and you're putting all your energy into this other stuff? I mean,
right. It's such a common pitfall, especially for healer types.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we feel like we have to take care of everybody or honor everybody, or this is our friend. It's important to truly take care of yourself so you can be there for other people.
Yeah, so true. I mean, it sounds simple when we say it like this, right, Tamra? But it was very difficult. I mean, I spent most of my adult life, well, actually, I'm old enough now, maybe not most, but a large proportion of my adult life doing the opposite, betraying myself backwards, forwards, and upside down all the time to do things what I think was for their highest and greatest good, and literally sacrificing myself. I was, recovering Catholic, so sacrificing myself for the benefit of the other, and just being miserable and unhappy and unhealthy. And I had to get really, really, really super sick physically in order to get the 2x4, the angelic 2x4, like, wake up. You're not loving other people when you're not able to love yourself.
Yeah, that's perfect. There's a lot of masters that have gone through major traumas in order to become the healers that they are. So, it was a tool that a lot of people have used. And then some people don't feel like they're worthy because they hadn't gone through that huge trauma in order to help others. You know what I mean? That by itself is a dichotomy. Sorry, I can't even say the word right now. That itself is anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, isn't it funny how humans find some way, like, to like mess things up sometimes? So it's like, on the one hand, it's like, oh, I would never wish that trauma on anyone,
Right.
But on the other hand, it did help us, right? And then other people can go, well, I'm not worthy because I didn't go through all that and overcome all that, and it's like, well, it doesn't have to be. I think that's one of the things that Tamra, you and I and others in this space are doing, is like having gone through that, what we're doing is allowing other people to tap into that positive morphic field of already overcome. And already
Right.
overcome means you don't have to go through the mud and the trauma to
Right.
experience the other side, unless you choose to. Unless people choose to, that's fine. But you don't have to, because there's so many people who have set that blueprint up already. People just boom, tap into it, and then, Bob's your uncle. It's
All right, you
faster.
guys, did you hear what she said? Did you, I mean, seriously, listen to what she said. I mean, this is so important. There's so many masters that have already gone through this that you don't have to go through this too. You can tap into that energy and start right there and then continue. Isn't that what you were saying?
Right. Yeah, there is a blueprint that's just like I like to use the example of Sir Roger Bannister, who many decades ago ran the first 4-minute mile. Prior to that, for 20 years, scientists and doctors said it was absolutely impossible for the human body to run that fast. And nobody did. For 20 years, nobody did until he did it. Once he did it, within the next 18 months, multiple people ran a mile in 4 minutes or less. So you're like, well, did he just inspire people? Or did he, as Rupert Sheldrake discusses, morphogenic fields, did he set up a blueprint in the energetic part of the universe that says it can be done and it has been done, and people can just energetically tune in and tap into that without even consciously doing it and be able to do it? So you see Olympic athletes all the time overcoming what their predecessors did years and decades ago, and you're like, how is this? I'm a figure skater, so how did this woman do a quad throw, whatever, right? Like, how does she do it? It's because they just keep getting better and better and better and better at these superhuman abilities. And I think that's how we evolve.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we put it, I see some people bring it into the collective consciousness, right? Or the super consciousness, let's say 6th dimension. And then there's certain beings that pick it up from the 6th dimension and then put it into the 5th and really bring it in for the masses so that everybody can connect into it. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think definitely where we are right now, sometimes, we weren't able to tap into those higher vibrational energies or messages previously. So I think some of our off-world friends especially had to wait until we came to a certain degree of development, which they had maybe been 100 or millions of years, 100 or millions of hundreds of years ago. And because it would have fallen on deaf ears, like it just wouldn't have worked. But now we're in a really great time where we are evolving very, very fast, astrologically, energetically, dimensionally. There's all sorts of things going on. It's very destabilizing, but at the same time, an amazing time to be on the planet. So yes, we are getting a lot of help, both from those of us in human form, but also our spirit forms and our off-world extraterrestrial friends as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a full support system. The whole universe is behind us, supporting us. Yeah. I had an experience about going up to the Galactic Federation, and I said, why can't we just do this? And they said, it's your world, it's your job.
Yeah.
We're here to support you, but we can't do it for you.
Right.
And so many spiritual beings or religious, both, are looking for the higher power to solve everything.
Yes.
And so if it's spirituality, they're looking for the aliens to solve everything. And if they're Christians or religious, they're waiting for God or Jesus or Allah or whoever that is for them to save everything.
Yeah, we kind of gotten into this habit in our society of being rescued and saved, which is part of the reason why, when it comes to healing, for example, because that's my specialty, we do meet a lot of people who initially, when they come to the tribe, are like, fix me, right? And then the message is, well, actually, you're not broken. So, they go, oh, Dr. Karen, can you do one-on-one with me? And can you do that healing? And I'm like, why don't I teach you how to do what I do? And let's learn from each other. And the whole shift is like, what? You believe that I can do what you do? I'm like, uh-huh. And hundreds of people have, so you can do this, right? And so it's a really different paradigm, and it's still kind of new and shiny, like people aren't connected to it, because we are looking for, the second coming of Christ. I'm like, the second coming of Christ is actually here. Christ consciousness. It's a grid. It's a frequency. It's a, something that we can tune and tap into and work at. It does take some work, but it can be joyful work. It doesn't have to be waiting for a physical being, person named Jesus to show up on our doorstep.
Right. Exactly. So what do you think some of the things are holding people back from manifesting their dreams and desires?
Yeah, this is a great question. I think first and foremost, sometimes people aren't realizing that to have a clarity of vision is really important. So it's sort of like if you have a GPS in your car, most people know what a GPS is now, and you just start driving, you turn the GPS on, you start driving, is it going to tell you what direction to turn? The answer is no, because you did not set a destination. So I think setting the destination without attachment is really important. The how is the universe helps us with the how, but setting the destination is really important. So all people often do is they see what's in the news, they see what they don't like, but they don't actually take the next step to go, well, what's the opposite of that? How would I like our future reality as humanity, or even in my own personal, life with my friends and family and dog and, my loved ones? How would I like that to look at? So number one is setting the vision of where's your GPS? What does it look like? And the other thing too, holding people back is they are afraid. They're afraid of even putting that wish out there because they've been disappointed so many times. They just cannot stand the thought of having their heart broken again, that they can't have this thing that they desire. The thing is, they didn't realize that there's actually, steps and technologies, if you will, and assist on how to manifest what it is we want. And once they really know that and they practice that, then they don't really have to be disappointed. But if we release attachment to that, then it's like being in a playground, right? I got to see if this works. Well, maybe it doesn't. Okay, let's try this one, right? So it can be really, really fun. So number one is not having the vision. Number two is having the fear of even having the vision. And number three, and we're going to work on that today, which is really exciting, is that in order to manifest it in the 3D, we actually have to use our bodies. So many spiritual people, myself included in the past, was really up here, in the upper chakras, dreaming. We're big dreamers, right? But we're not really grounded in that vision in our bodies, and that's what's required. So what does that look like when we're not grounded? We're physically ill, we're sick, we've got autoimmune, chronic fatigue, right? Chronic pain. What does it look like in our financial lives? Well, we got no money. We got no money, we don't have clients. I mean, there's all sorts of symptoms of that. Our relationships are poor, we feel estranged, we feel betrayed, we feel, separated. So all those are signs in a way of not grounding that vision into our 3D reality. In order to do that, we actually have to use the body. And that can be really uncomfortable for some people because they're really happy being up here. But the minute it comes in here, it's uncomfortable, at least temporarily, as they learn to be embodied. And that is one of the secrets. And we can go on and on for 3 hours, but those are kind of the top three that come to mind at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I completely and totally agree with you. So do you teach this in your trainings on how to do this with people?
Yes, actually, the process we're going to do a little bit later today is going to be like a mini practice. This is, this is the first step. Now, the vision is not actually really difficult, guys. Really is imagining, using imagination in a positive sense in this case, imagining what would it be like, something that's believable, but also a little stretch, right? So if I'm imagining I'm going to be flying, part of my, other part of my, ego mind is like, yeah, right. Now, do I fully believe that's possible? Yeah. Now I know, understand a little bit more about how that works and gravity and yada, yada, but it's not a big thing for me. It's okay. It's just doesn't really excite me that much as some other things, like seeing peace on earth for me is like a big mission. How does that look like in my mind's eye, right? So for some other people, it's like too big a goal. They're like, I can't connect with that. Okay, so don't use that example. But for me, I see like the children and see, I can even cry right now. So when you embody it, it can be so real that you feel it in every cell and every bone and every fiber of your being, that it's already here. And how joyful is that? So obviously I'm very practiced, so I can just mention it and it's already here. I can feel it. But it's a matter of practicing. Having that vision as if it's already here, embodying and noticing what it feels like in your body to have actually be in that new reality. And yeah, at first, it takes a little practice because we have a lot of decades of the other, right? What we don't want and imagining that, right? But we're using the same beautiful human engine to imagine what we do want and then anchoring it in the body. So yes, I actually have that right in my book, which I have oh, here it is. So, excuse me for reaching. So my sensitivity is your superpower book actually shares all the steps that we have today and beyond. So how to get started, on that manifesting. So the procedure we're going to do today is called stillness through observing internal movement, and we're going to apply it to masterful manifesting. Yes.
This is the perfect time. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to do this process with Karen.
Om Times TV. Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself, invest in your brand, and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. Om Times Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, Om Times offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an Om Times magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on Om Times TV and broadcasting it across the extensive Om Times radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. Om Times. Open yourself to the possibilities. Do you want to go deeper into sacred activations, which is a subconscious metaprogramming process? Tamra Oviatt is inviting you to visit her website at tamraoviatt.com to sign up and get lifetime access to free 7 activations that you can listen to anytime you want or as often as you need. If you like what Tamra does and like to incorporate sacred activations into your life, she also offers live webinars, masterclasses, and practitioners training to further support your healing, manifestations, and expansion. There are hundreds of activations on her website that address different aspects of your life: money, health, relationships, intuitive abilities, and more. Head over to her website at tamraoviatt.com and experience the magic of sacred activations. Thank you for listening.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm so excited to do this process with Dr. Karen. She's really amazing. I see her on Facebook all the time, ice skating and with her husband. And she's on Darius, the show that I do too. And she's very popular. So I know what she's doing is really good. And her energy, I absolutely love her energy. So I'm so excited that she is going to share this process with us. So you guys ready? All right, come on, Karen.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so this is actually fairly simple. It takes longer to describe it than to do it, but we'll start from scratch. Now, some folks that are here are from my tribe, so you kind of know the process already, but we're going to go through it from the beginning. So, like I said before, it's very important for us to actually be embodied. And what does that mean? I didn't know what it meant. When Eckhart Tolle says be present, I'm like, what do I do? Like, do I just go, I am present? Like, do I just like wash dishes and feel the suds? I get bored in about 2 seconds. So meditation was really hard for me. But here's the cool thing. This does not have to take time and it does not have to be hard. And 80% of highly sensitive people that I've found, sensitive souls, I call them, are what we call clairsentient. So they actually are very good with feeling their body when their mind is directed to notice that. So that's what we're going to do. Stillness through observing internal movement, and then we're going to apply it to our masterful manifestation process. So what we want to do is get energy moving in the body just for a few seconds, and you can rub your hands. That's one way of doing that, just to get some heat and energy flowing. You could like shake your body. You can like shake your, hands. You can stamp your feet, wiggle around. If you're standing up, you can do some African dancing. That's something else I do from time to time. So just get the body moving, and then close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so. Close your eyes, stop what you're doing. Step 1, focus on the inside of your body, sort of like beyond the level of the skin. Feel any movement, energy, movement, tinglings, waves, anything at all, and follow the flow wherever it goes. So focus on the inside of your body, feel the movement, and follow the flow. So here we're telling our mind what to do, and we're saying, mind, follow the flow. Where does it go? Is it more on my left side, right side, upper body, lower body, or do I feel it mostly in the hands? Maybe there's an area where you don't feel flow. There's no judgment there. Just kind of be curious and allow the mind to continue just scanning your body for where you feel movement. And in doing so, we actually entered the 0-point field. This is the source of all creation, where we can seed our optimal future. So we'll just have you just feel the energy just for a few more seconds, and keep your eyes closed if you can. So as you continue to feel this energy or movement in the body periodically, now we're going to use that beautiful human capacity for imagination and vision. So I'd like you to imagine what your future reality would look like, whether that be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or tomorrow. But let's stretch it a little bit and see, what would your ideal reality be? And where would you be? So imagine where you would be. Would you be in Costa Rica? Would you be in your home gardening? Would you be, in my case, skating on wild ice in Switzerland mountains? Whatever it is, just pick a scene. So we're actually going to pick a scene. So with your inner vision, imagine what that would be like, and make it as colorful as you can. And if you're not a visual person, that's okay. Just kind of, do the best you can, imagining where you are. And then after you've added the vision, just go ahead in your mind's eye and imagine 360 degrees around you, what you see. Maybe you have somebody you're with, so you can put them in the picture in the scenario. And then tune back into the body and just feel the pulsing or energy in the body. Then go back to imagining. Now, let's add in some sounds. So we imagine what it looks like. Let's imagine what it sounds like. Maybe it's silent. Or maybe you're by the seashore and you hear that. Or maybe there's birds. Maybe there's children playing. Whatever it is, just plunk that right into that scenario. And after you do that, go back to observing any movement in the body. Now let's go ahead and add in, we've got sight, we've got sound. Let's do touch next, so kinesthetic. So what's the temperature? Is it cool? Is it warm? Do you feel sunlight on your skin? Or is it a little chilly or breezy? So just imagining that on your body and what that feels like in your scene. And then you know what's next. Go ahead and add in the other senses. Smell. Does it smell like flowers, or the sea, or mountain air, or your garden? Imagine whatever smells are there. Maybe you're in a beautiful place where they're cooking really great food. And you can add in taste if you'd like. Maybe you're sipping on a margarita. Maybe you're tasting your favorite Italian lasagna in Milan. Just imagine what it tastes like, smells like, feels like, looks like, what it sounds like, and anything else you want to add in there. Make it a full body experience. And just take a moment and enjoy that scene with your entire body. And you might even be moving. If you're dancing, maybe you're singing, just imagining that what that feels like in your body, as if you're already there right now. And then tune into the movement or energy in your body. You might notice that maybe or perhaps it's changed a little bit now that you are fully there. So be in your body, in your new reality, and always possible that you can feel, see, hear, touch, smell, taste. And then maybe even take a hand and put over your heart and connect with joy, connect with peace in this scene, connect with bliss, connect with happiness, connect with harmony. Maybe perhaps put a little smile on your face. You have your ideal life. You have manifested it for you, and that affects others. Your positive morphic field of already having been here is reverberating throughout the entire planet. Just take another moment to fully immerse yourself in everything you feel in the body, in your scene. And go ahead and release that vision, let it go, come back to here and now. You can wiggle your toes and fingers and open your eyes when you're ready. All right, awesome. Okay, so we'll have to unmute Tamra.
Hi, let me unmute myself here. I'm talking away. That was an absolutely beautiful process, sweetheart. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. And if anybody would like to share or anything, go ahead and raise your hand. We are doing this in front of a live audience. So if you're listening to this on Ohm or iHeart or Spotify or anything else, this has been pre-recorded. Make sure you join my website at tamraoviatt.com, and you will get links to upcoming shows and also get access to the replays, plus a bunch of free gifts. I'm going to go ahead and unmute Leonard, and so he can share. And then I want you to share with what you have coming up on your website and what you're doing and offering. I'd love for you to share that with everybody. Go ahead, Leonard. Oh, do I have to unmute you? You got it. Okay. Hi, honey.
Yeah, it lines up with timelines and parallel universes that we did the other day, and it helps everyone, clients and practitioners, to be like, okay, what do you like? What do you not like? And then so everything lines up. So that's good.
Yeah, and changes it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a great process. Thank you, honey. So, unmute.
All right, I didn't realize if I mute myself that I can't unmute myself.
So share with us, what do you have going on? What's your free gifts? How do we find your book?
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you, Leonard, for sharing. I love the synchronicities, and often we see this, right, in the spiritual community, where it's like these different, facets of a diamond. I like to say different perspectives, because what resonates with one person may not fully resonate with another, and then they hear it again and again in different ways. So that's fantastic. Well, just when we did the book launch in 2020, I actually released 3 books, crazy me, in the same year. They all went to #1 international bestseller. My big book, this is the one that's just my solo book, Sensitivities Your Superpower. We actually gave away $1,000. Yeah, $1,000 worth of gifts. And I decided just to keep that going. Normally you just do it for the launch for the week, but I decided to keep it going. So you can go either to KarenCan.com, and it's right near the banner at the top. Or you can go to sensitivityisyoursuperpower.com and type that into your browser, and you'll see that page where it has all the gifts. And what you do is you can either buy a physical book and then just put the order number in there, and then we'll send you the free gifts. It's the download, or you can buy the ebook from us if you want it that format, and then we'll immediately send your gifts there as well. So that's one way of getting the book. The other thing I'd love to give away free, because I love free gifts, is that anyone who feels resonant with the message would like to join my little community. We have a community called the Light Medicine Community, and I'll put that in the chat as well. It's KarenCan.com/LMC free, because it's free to join. And so we have free mini healings every single month. We have different, activities, and people can post, prayer requests and different things like that. So it's kind of a little growing community there, and we have a lot of fun. I was censored off of Facebook a number of times and once on YouTube. So I decided to build my own community so I can speak freely.
Yeah, isn't that lovely? I'm just going to let that go right now. So it's beautiful that you're building your community, because then you are free to really talk about anything you want. And I know we don't go into the depths that we could here while we're recording that we can on our own site. So it's important to join your site so that you can get a lot of insight and a lot of help from someone that's already gone through it. You don't have to go through it yourself, all of this. You have helpers. And I know Dr. Karen, I feel her energy. I see her energy. She's absolutely incredible. I think she'd be really, really good to work with. So
thanks, Tamra. I appreciate you having me and sharing me with your audience.
Oh, absolutely. I really think you're amazing. And I totally believe we're all in this together. We all have different gifts. We all have different things that we're doing, but we're all here to share and to help people grow. And we're all part of the puzzle, Like they say, it takes a community. So we're a community, and we're all in this together to help everybody. And I'd really like you to share. I'm sorry, I just went off, you guys. Please share. What's your last message to everybody?
Well, that, you are important. I mean, sometimes you think and you see what Tamra's doing out in the world or what I'm doing out in the world, and you go, wow, I can't do that. Or wow, it's going to take me a while to get to that much impact. No. It's absolutely important. Who you are and who you choose to be is absolutely important, because we are part of the same ocean. So any little bit helps, and it shifts and changes. So as we individually work on our own consciousness, it absolutely affects the world in a very positive way. And my mission is heaven on earth, peace on earth, joy, peace, love, harmony for all in our lifetime.
Yes.
Our lifetime, not the next lifetime. In our lifetime. It's happening, folks. And you're part of the solution. So yes, super happy about that.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that. Thank you so much. That's totally what I'm all about also, is to help people heal so that they can create heaven on earth. And when you create heaven on earth here, it shows up everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a perfect message. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I really appreciate you being with me today. Thank you for that amazing process. Okay, you guys, let's run some activations. I'm feeling really, really good. I did Timeline and Parallel Universe training last weekend, and it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. And I'm getting ready to do a bunch of trainings, one after another. So I'll be doing practitioner training and masters and medical intuitive, and then world mastery. And then we'll go into teacher training. And I'm also teaching in Japan too right now. So I'm going to be busy almost every single weekend. I'm still going to be doing the Om show. I have some guest hosts coming up that are going to help fill in, because I'm going to be super busy. Plus, I've got a bunch of webinars coming up to help you shift. And this is all about bringing us in our power so that we can create heaven on earth, and everything is created from within us. So make sure you connect with Karen. I think she's beautiful. And right now I want to run some activations for you. So Damsel in distress, Leonard wrote that in, and he also wrote in polar opposites. You know, I've never done polar opposites on our world beliefs. Polar opposite activation. You know how you have a thought going on in your mind, and it plays over and over and over and over again, you know, and it creates a really heavy neuron line, kind of like a stream turning into a river, right? So that thought's constantly going. So when I use the polar opposite activation, it actually clears that neuron line. And when I first started doing this, I could only do 3 a day because it knocked me over. And in the first time I did this in a group healing in Denver, I was a keynote speaker, and I had a group that I ran this activation on. I couldn't do the event the next day. I stayed in bed. So this is super powerful. This is just going to clear those beliefs out. I've never done it on world peace. Let's do it on world peace. So what I want you guys to think about, and then I'm going to go into some other activations, okay? But I want to do this because this is really cool. I've never thought of this until just this moment. Your visions of the future of this world, I want you to focus on those. So just focus on whatever that is you see. Any thoughts of we have to go through all this trauma before we can have world peace in our lifetime? Because I believe it's right here, right now. So whatever you believe in the future that we have to go through before we receive world peace, think about that. And I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to connect to source energy. So what about all the fears you have in the world that's going on? Children suffering, animals, water, electricity, whatever that is, think about that. What makes you upset or you hold fear of? Good. And we're just replacing that with happy, happy, joy, joy, peace, love, joy, and happiness. This will continue to strengthen. Good. Damsel in distress, I'm going to start that activation. Damsel in distress is needing to be saved or needing to be the savior. I love what Dr. Karen said about totally needing to be in your body, and Leonard typed up total body connection. Let's total body connection activation. Like she was saying, a lot of us living in 5D in the spiritual world, we're not in our bodies. We're floating out in the universe. Just totally bring yourself in. I'm also going to run defragmentation and laser focus. I'm also hearing to add in anger and resentment at the world. Healthy boundaries. The Lira Council had given me an activation. I'm being reminded of it right now, and it's called peace of mind. So we're going to do that now. Good. Imagine bringing your energy into Mother Earth. Imagine you can put your feet in the soil or the sand, or you can go all the way into Mother Earth's heart chakra. Just connect into this space. Just take a nice big deep breath. And if it's time to continue your day, you're wide awake, alert, and ready to go. And if you're snuggled up in bed and listening to this, you can just drift off to sleep and have an amazing, restful night. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today with my special guest, Dr. Karen. She's absolutely beautiful soul. I'm so thankful that you guys hung out to the end and received the activations. Share these with others. We got this, you guys. There's nothing to worry about. We got this. And it's really, you know, that I'm thankful that I received that activation reminder today from the Lira Council. They brought it to me during a medical intuitive training. And I'm super excited. I've never recorded it before. It's not out there on my website at all, except in the training. So that was beautiful that came through today. Leonard, thank you as always. You're always showing up and reminding me of activations. That would be really good, which is, you have no idea how helpful that is. It really, truly is. So thank you very much for doing that. Thank you everybody for joining me. Check out my website if you haven't checked it out. There's a lot of stuff there to support you in whatever way that I can. Sending you lots and lots of love, and thank you so much for joining in. Bye.